So, we are still in Philadelphia at the Constitutional Convention, and we're going to look at a plan brought to you by the one and only James Madison called the Virginia Plan. So, what was it? And we're going to focus on that this week and do a little fun research a little bit about different states and their representation when it comes to the Electoral College. So, the Virginia Plan, all right, it was not weak, all right? Remember the Articles of Confederation were weak? Let's just rip that document up because it is no more. We got to figure something better out. So the Virginia delegates, they agreed to James Madison's new plan. His new plan was stated as the Virginia Plan. This proposed a strong national government. All right. He knew that we needed a stronger national government. He knew some of the areas that we were lacking in under the Articles, and that's what it focused on. Remember, the Articles, they were mainly focused on states. All right. So each state was kind of their own country under the Articles. Now we have to give the federal government a little bit more power. So under this Virginia Plan, we now have power to enforce laws, make federal laws, and also, most importantly, collect taxes, which I know you guys all are going to love to pay when you guys are an adult. So under this Virginia Plan, we created a federal system, all right, federal system. Basically, a federal system is the sharing of power of the national government, the state government, and also one other government, but that was not included in the Virginia Plan. So we have our national government, state government. Can you think of the other type of government that would share in the federal system, the third type? Hopefully you thought of it. It is the local government, all right? So if you live in Canfield, you have to follow federal laws, national laws, so the federal government. You have to follow Ohio law, the state government. And finally, Canfield law, local laws, okay? So national, state, and local. All citizens would be governed under authority of two governments in the Virginia Plan. First, their state governments, then the national government. They did not include local government yet. They were not focusing on this directly yet. The national government would have three branches of government. Okay, this is where we start to think about the three branches of government, and we're going to focus on each branch in more detail in the next couple weeks, next couple months. First of all, the legislative branch, they decided would be made up of two houses. All right, so broken up into two houses, the Congress and Senate. So it sounds like this Virginia Plan kind of worked. This is where the Virginia Plan, the ideas, started to crumble a little bit. They focused on proportional representation. Proportional representation. So the number of representatives that each state would have would be based on the size of a state population. So if you are a larger state like now, such as bottom left, Texas, bottom right, California, or top right, New York, if you're one of those states, your representatives, would you have more or less if it was based on population? So thinking about that, those three states are very high in population density. So they would have more representatives in Congress. States with larger populations would increase their representatives, so they would have a little bit more power than states like, let's say, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Hawaii. Congress had the power to make all laws under the Virginia Plan. Also, they got to have the opportunity to strike down laws that were deemed unconstitutional. So today we're going to focus on, in our research, was this a good idea to give all the power to the states, this Virginia Plan, this Virginia idea? Did we follow through with it in our constitutional writing? Did we keep this plan? Is it like that now? We're going to look at that in a little bit. So our research today is who would benefit most from the Virginia Plan? All right, you're going to do this in a Google Forms, and I have some resources for you here. Number two, this is some fun research we're going to do in our Google Meets attendance. I'm going to assign you guys specific states, and you're going to do some research on state laws. All right, so this link here will tell you different state laws across the 50 states. All right. Number three, from the state that you were given, so let's say you were given Iowa, what is the population of that state? I gave you guys a really unique, fun-looking map here. It breaks down the density from county to county in each state. All right. And finally, would the state that you were given, let's say you were given Rhode Island, would they be a fan of the Virginia Plan? So going back to it, would they be a fan of states with higher populations getting more representatives? I'm sorry, I cannot talk to that. Would they be a fan of that? Or would they oppose that? So figure out with your state. All right, if you have any questions, please email me, please call me, and we will figure this out together. I hope you have some fun research today on these state populations.